All right. So some people are saying, and it's a very reasonable complaint that Deadman Wonderland and Casshern Sins are the kinds of shows that they would have played on Adult Swim Action. But this comment is they would have played Deadman Wonderland and Casshern Sins even if it wasn't Toonami. What are your thoughts, Soul?
Casshern, I really doubt it because it would have already aired if that's the case. Deadman Wonderland was possible, I think, but even it's a stretch to really think Deadman Wonderland before it was announced. Even I think it was a stretch to really think it would air, just because of how over the top its violence is, and straight from the get-go. Period. But I think you really think about it, for Adult Swim's Toonami, Deadman Wonderland is like the kick in the nuts you need to show that, yeah, this ain't the Toonami you grew up with anymore. And with Casshern, I feel like it's kind of just, it's shedding light to a show that obviously didn't get a lot of attention to begin with when it first came out. And yeah, I think it has this kind of nostalgic feel with, like, you've mentioned yourself, Sketch, with, like, say, Cyborg 009 or Kikaider. But at the same time, I think with Casshern, even though it might be hard to get more into it later on down the road in its run, I think people might see it on, like they flip past Adult Swim or Toonami Saturday nights and see Casshern on. It's like, holy crap, this is a beautiful, great animation. This is great. This is what Casshern is a great example of what Japanese animation can do in general. Is Casshern something, like I said, is Casshern something I think Adult Swim would have picked up? But like I said, I kind of doubt it. Obviously, in your previous video, Sketch, you've mentioned, this is something I think they decided to pick up solely for the fact that, one, they kind of needed an extra show to add on to Adult Swim Action. I mean, Adult Swim is added on to Toonami. And at the same time, they didn't even need to do that. They could have kept the Rah-Rah-Rah reruns going. And like I said, I would have been fine. A lot more people would have been bitching about it. But they still brought 2 new shows that you look on YouTube or you look on different message boards, even people haven't even heard of Casshern. Half the time they mispronounce it. So is it something they... Yeah,
is it Casshern or is it Casshern? I don't know.
I was like saying Casshern.
Yeah.
Kill, cash, earn.
Yeah. But is it something, or either of those shows something Adult Swim would have aired? Maybe. Like I said, it's possible. Like I said, Deadman, each episode keeps shocking me just how over the top that show is. A lot of that kind of has to do with Funimation's dub of it with the overt cursing, but at the same time, I feel like that kind of makes it more entertaining, to be honest, though.
Yeah,
and that's really kind of how I feel about that.
We had like an entire sentence bleeped out on that, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it sure did.
Like, it wasn't. I'm not even talking about the one in episode 2. I'm talking about during the supposed leaked video in episode 1.
Where it shows Ganta, that video of Ganta doing the confession in the first episode where he's in court. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, there was an entire sentence they just bleeped out.
The scene where Ganta is...
being interrogated.
Yeah. And then he has that confession. Yeah. Maybe you just... I guess you just don't remember, Sketch.
I remember there was a long sentence bleeped in that confession.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I remember that in the second episode, the martial arts master guy was talking to Machina, and he's like, one of these days I'm gonna beep.
Suck
I don't think
my
all of that was actually... Yeah, well, I don't even think that was specifically cursing outside of that. Outside of, I think, there was just overt sexual references in that they just cut the whole thing.
You know, it was weird. Well, he said, I'd her into, if I recall correctly, was the line.
I don't know. But okay, I guess, John, it's really your topic. I mean, your thoughts on if if you think that they would have already, if they would have aired, Adult Swim Action would have aired Casshern and Deadman Wonderland. Do you think that's true?
I would definitely believe Deadman Wonderland being a potential pickup, but as for like Casshern Sins, I feel like there was probably Funimation had already in the past tried to give Casshern to Adult Swim, and they passed on it initially. And I feel that because with that show, I don't think it would have ever aired if it was still under the old Adult Swim Action block. Though, on the flip side, there is also the fact that Adult Swim tended to avoid some of the more graphic, violent stuff, which Deadman Wonderland has obviously shown. I feel that potentially neither of these shows would have aired on Adult Swim Action if it hadn't been rebranded as Toonami. I mean, they were probably looking for new content, and those were the ones that were readily available. I feel that, I think we brought this up earlier, I think it was a show that Funimation, wanted to give them because it hadn't gotten much focus in the past, or much attention, rather, when it was, released on DVD and Blu-ray.
Well, I think to finish what you go on from where you were saying with Casshern and to kind of wrap the whole Casshern issue up, I think it was a moderate success for them. But it's even on Netflix, from what I understand, dubbed, and I think people pass it a lot on Netflix. It looks like just some weird superhero type show, and
actually,
people don't really want to watch it.
I said this to Sketch, and when we were talking before, but it looks like a post-apocalyptic shoujo or girls series, and it's kind of one of those things. It has to do with who designed it, and I guess in that way, it's kind of like I feel like the designs might be slightly off-putting, also, but
that could be something. But I think, like I said, it just has to do with the overall arching anime demographic, just in the U.S. or even just the casual fan. Is like, yeah, they want to watch Bleach or they want to watch Naruto. They pass Casshern with that image of him, in his suit and everything. Like, this looks kind of silly. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of,
I think with it,
I'm kind of offering I'm looking at various views.
Well, yeah,
sorry.
which I think with that, but I'm just saying, I think even its art design with some of its character designs, it could be off-putting, but hell, a lot of people used to say that about One Piece. So
yeah,
but,
it's like the one thing though I want to say that's interesting about Casshern Sins is the artist went from doing almost all shoujo stuff to something like that, and it's kind of interesting to see that he would do something like that. And sometimes I have to wonder though, if people are turned. I figured they would be turned off by some of those designs.
I don't think the designs would turn people off so much as the slow points.
Yeah, it does have a lot of action, but it is very slow at times. And
it has pretty regrettable pacing even in the first 2 episodes.
Which, is that, for Toonami fan base, is that a big deal?
No, come on. How slow did Dragon Ball Z
Dragon Ball
go?
Z was fun.
How slow was Naruto? How slow was Kenshin?
Kenshin and Naruto aren't that... Well, Kenshin, I'm a big fan of Kenshin. I don't know how slow you would say Kenshin is.
I mean, Naruto's pacing was fine, but I remember Shippuden was I know this did not continue on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim. If there was any show, I feel that probably might have a problem on Adult Swim to some degree, and it might be Shippuden in its early, pacing issues.
Those first 50-something episodes...
No, it's actually close to 100.
Well, yeah, because I stopped around the 70 mark. But I remember those first, 50-something episodes were, dreadfully Dragon Ball Z Namek Frieza saga.
They were even slower than that. They were adapting, only... sometimes they would adapt just barely half a chapter, so...
Which, I guess, wasn't that the whole, they were scared of catching up, but, oh, shit, they ended up catching up with Kishimoto anyway and had to add fillers, so whatever.
But anyhow, it was just, I just thought I'd bring that up because, slow-paced shows and that. I mean, Sketch, you were saying something, right? In regards to this?
Yeah. I'm concerned that people will be turned off by Casshern because it's philosophical, and Toonami played the Big O. They played Dot Hack for 4 episodes at least before it moved to late on Saturday, and they played a few other shows that dabbled in philosophy. But the important thing is Casshern Sins has really good fights and really nice animation, and it's a good contrast to the other programming.
Yeah, which I think with the philosophical thing, even Gundam, the multiple Gundams that's aired.
Oh yeah, Gundams, all the Gundams. Even G Gundam had philosophy.
What about SD Gundam?
There might have been a little bit of philosophy in there somewhere.
It probably might have showed up later on, which we never got those episodes on TV here, and I've never seen them, so
could be.
Of the OG Toonami, let's just kind of skip over Hamtaro and SD Gundam.
Hey!
Hamtaro was a total deconstruction of the shonen genre.
Hey, no. Hamtaro is Kodomo, which is children, so no.
Okay, it was a total deconstruction of the Kodomo genre.
Basically.
Okay, I think we need to move on from here then.
Yeah,
my general opinion on that Deadman Wonderland and Casshern Sins would have aired regardless, maybe. How can we know for sure? The way I look at it, they didn't have any premieres other than Bleach since Durarara ended, and they didn't seem like they were in a hurry to get more premieres. It seemed like they were just gonna slide by on just Bleach, and if that didn't hold down the fort, then they might have gotten something else, or they might have just said, we're gonna minimize the action block and just keep Bleach. No, they would never say that. They will hold on to Cowboy Bebop until their dying breath. But
well, that and Fully Cooley, I would assume, as well.
Yes.
I think,
and possibly Ghost in the Shell. And the Big O, since they own the second season.
Yeah.
So they could have minimized the action block to 2 hours a week, easy, and played comedy the rest of the night. They didn't, because they saw the opportunity to draw new viewers to their action block while keeping the old ones. And may I stress, it's important to draw new viewers and keep the old ones. And we will discuss that in regards to the next topic. But sure, Deadman Wonderland and Casshern Sins are shows that would probably have aired on Adult Swim if they were looking for shows at the time. We don't know if they were actually looking for shows at the time. And I honestly feel like they got Deadman Wonderland to make people see firsthand that Toonami wasn't a kid's block anymore.
yeah.
That they were going to make use of their ability to run TVMA shows. That's a very good thing for them to do, because some people were actually concerned that they would end up playing the old Y7 cut of Outlaw Star.
If
They sure didn't do that.
Which I still don't even. I think a lot of people keep wanting, even if if Outlaw Star does come back, people keep assuming that they'll air the a Hot Springs episode. Which if they do,
I'm gonna say one.
They
thing,
will.
I'm gonna say one thing about that episode is a lot of people don't know this, but that episode was actually skipped on, I believe, TV Tokyo's broadcast in Japan.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. Well, with that, I think they'd blur the nudity.
Yeah, they'd blur the nudity, and they could probably get away with everything else, as was in the uncut.
Yeah,
and that would be great. I hope that they do bring back Outlaw Star, because I know this is sacrilege to say it, but I like it more than Cowboy Bebop.
No, I know a few people who generally like Outlaw Star more than Cowboy Bebop, but so it's not just your opinion. So I know a few people who like Outlaw Star more than Cowboy Bebop.
Renolsa is listening. Ronaldo will never accept that anything's better than Cowboy Bebop.
Oh God, if Tony was listening to this, he'd... Oh God, I don't even want to
Oh,
imagine.
yeah, Kuwabara the man would totally want to kill
Whatever
me,
happened
but
to
he
that guy?
thinks
Doesn't he
Gurren
have, like,
Lagann
his
isn't
own
a good
voice?
show, so I can never take him seriously again.